email me at dreama@drsloan-kelly.com. So let's go ahead and get some of the seminar business matters out of the way before we get to the nitty-gritty about why all of you guys are here for this next hour. So first off, you will have the opportunity to ask questions at the end of the seminar. This is my little tidbit. This is my little trick when I do webinars and how I'm able to remember my questions. Because a lot of times when questions pop in our heads, we tend to lock them in our head and get stuck on what our question is and don't really have the opportunity to listen to the information that's presented to us after that question pops in our mind. So I tell everybody, jot down your question on a piece of paper as soon as it pops up in your head, which allows you to free up your mind and listen to the rest of the webinar. And so then when we open it up for questions, you can go ahead and ask your questions then. What I have done is that I actually am going to go directly along with you with the handout. So I'm using the exact same handout that you guys have. So what I try to do is tell you what slide number I'm on. So right now I'm on slide number 2. Sometimes I get excited and I forget to tell you the slide, but what I try to do is come back and tell you to make sure that we're all caught up on the same page. So going on to slide number 3, are you ready for some fun? This is just designed to tell me to do 2 things. Number 1, tell you a little bit about my style, and number 2, tell you a little bit about what we're about to talk about in the next hour. So one thing that I have never been accused of is not being fun, and so hopefully you can feel that through the phone wave. But I like to give you a lot of information in a Power Pack format. Speaking about Superbills and ICD-10 is a big issue. It's totally funny because I had a couple of clients this week call me just in regards to their Superbill and ICD-10, and I don't think a lot of people were really thinking about the impact that ICD-10 was going to have in regards to their Superbills until right about now. So you guys are on this call at the perfect time because you have the time available to start working on getting your Superbills ready for October 1. So let's go ahead and start off. So let's look at slide 4. One of the biggest questions I'm asked, where did this ICD-10 urgency come from? And a lot of doctors have a lot of fear surrounding this, and it's kind of interesting when I talk to other physician colleagues when I'm out in the field. I get to hear a lot of the real nitty-gritty of some of the fear that the doctors are feeling, and they feel like it's an urgency that came out of nowhere. But if you look at slide number 5, actually, technically, the ICD code set was supposed to change every 10 years. The World Health Organization, also known as WHO, not the WHO, the Brock man, but World Health Organization, actually established the ICD code set in 1948. Canada began their transition to ICD-10 in 2004, believe it or not. So we are way behind the 8 ball when it comes to making a transition to ICD-10. Now, one of the things that I have found interesting in my training along the way is that I have actually had the opportunity to work with groups that had Canadian physicians working in their practices. So they had already had transitioned to ICD-10. So if you ever have the opportunity to speak to a physician that's working here in the U.S. but has already worked with ICD-10 in regards to in Canada.
Goodbye.